Okay, hello. I still don't know how to start these second channel videos, but welcome back to the Clarkar channel, the greatest YouTube channel this side of the equator. Today I wanted to talk about Spider-Man 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2, not the film, the game, because I have very mixed opinions on this game. Now, if you have, if you've come here from the main channel, Charles Cardy, which is just my real name, you will probably know that last year I did a video on this game, or maybe, oh my god, I think it wasn't even last year, it was the year before. Wow, we are lurching ever closer towards the grave. It was the first video I did on the channel to kind of like, take YouTube very seriously and try and make it a job, which I succeeded at, so yippee! But, yeah, that was one of the first videos I ever made, or one of the first videos I ever made for YouTube, and so it was very positive about this game. It was very, very positive about this game. Now, I was very high on the game when I made that, in that I just finished it for like the second time, and I just got a PlayStation 5, and I thought, this was the greatest thing ever. A lot of my thoughts have changed since then. Not to be, like, overly negative. I don't like to be overly negative about media. There is a few pieces of media which I really do like to be negative about, but this game isn't one of them. I think it has a lot of flaws. One of them being, and sort of the main one, which, again, this video has been done so many times by so many people about how Spider-Man 2 is a bad game. I don't think it's a bad game. Alright, there's nuance, and nuance is a dying art form, to say the least. I think this game is good, generally. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a solid... It's a 7. It's nothing, mind-blowing, as we stop this tanker strike here. But I like this game. It's not my favourite Spider-Man game. That's probably the first one. But I play this one so often, purely for what you're seeing on screen now, which is, the Spider-Man fantasy. The swinging around, the teaming up with Miles, the stopping the crimes. It's stuff like that where I just think this game excels so well at that it is the Spider-Man game I play the most. Do I think it's better than Spider-Man 1? No. To me, that is the pardon the pun, the ultimate Spider-Man game. It is... it's as close to perfect as I think we're ever going to get from a Spider-Man game. Truly, I think it's that good. This game isn't that. The story, for me, is where this game really falls... It almost falls on its own... Yeah, no, that's it. It falls on its own. Like, it doesn't need help. You don't need to be, like, a media critic to understand why this game is so divisive. And it's because of the story. The last 2 hours of the story, hell, the last 3 hours of the story, basically, as soon as Venom shows up, it kind of sucks. It does. It's so rushed, and it's such a shame that we'll never see what this game could have been, because Tony Todd, who voiced Venom, rest in peace, he was outstanding as Venom, and it's such a shame we'll never get to hear him record any new lines for that character, because he's so Venom, like, when I think of Venom talking, I think of Tony Todd. Like, he's so good in that role. But he said, I believe that, he recorded so many more voice lines for that game, but we'll never hear them because they cut so many... What am I doing here? They cut so much of it out. And that's such a shame, because, like, the Spider-Man media in general, especially sort of modern-day Spider-Man media, has this massive issue with Venom where they try and introduce the symbiote and then resolve the symbiote arc in one go. And I don't think you can do that and do it well. There's a reason why comics take so long to resolve arcs. Well, most of the time. Because, you need to. Venom isn't a character, and the symbiote isn't a character that you can satisfyingly wrap up in an 8-hour video game story. And I don't like to compare games necessarily. It's something that I'm always really hesitant to do. But I'm going to use Red Dead Redemption 2 as an example, purely for prosperity's sake, I guess. Red Dead Redemption 2, one of the bigger flaws that it has, especially in this kind of everything's overrated and the best things are the ones you've never heard of kind of media analysis culture, I feel like we're like heading towards, where it's like it's almost frowned upon to enjoy things in a genuine sense. One of the big flaws that I always hear about Red Dead Redemption 2, and it's one that I don't agree with, is the fact that it has a lot of wasted missions, right? And the runtime of the game is, to these people who think this, is somehow overinflated. It's like it just goes on and on and on. And don't get me wrong, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a long game. Like, it's such a long game. It's not a game you can pick up and replay in a couple of sittings. It's an experience. Like, I've just recently been to see The Odyssey, the new Christopher Nolan film, and oh my god, I loved that film. I think even as a lifelong die-hard Batman fan, I think it might be Christopher Nolan's best work yet. It's such an experience. And I said this to my dad when we came out of the cinema. That's not a film I'll probably be watching again anytime soon. Because, it's 3 hours long. It's a long film. It's something you really need to get invested in to enjoy. But oh my god, was it good. And it's a bit like with Red Dead 2. Although I have completed Red Dead 2, I think, like 5 times now. 4 or 5 times, like, to like 100% completion. So, I think it's probably not the best example to use. But yeah, Red Dead 2 is my overall favourite game ever. I know, controversial opinion, guys. Red Dead 2 is a good game. But one of the main critiques is that it's too long, it's overinflated. But I don't think it is. And I think where Red Dead 2 really lets its characters breathe, Spider-Man 2 doesn't. Venom is introduced, is playable, and then is gone in the span of like 2 hours, like 2 or 3 hours. It's really weird. And like the whole citywide incursion of the symbiotes has some of the coolest visuals I've ever seen in a superhero game. Like the towering like symbiote tower things look so badass, but you never know that it's really that cool because it's gone so quickly. You never get to breathe in it. And I know people always compare it to Web of Shadows. I've never played Web of Shadows, so I'm not going to sit here and try and make that comparison. Did he just fall over? I'm not going to try and make that comparison because I can't, because I'd say I've never played Web of Shadows, and it's something that I do want to play, kind of, just to be able to say I've played it and, be able to experience it. But it's something that I know from watching reviews of it and everything, Web of Shadows does well, is that it lets the symbiote breathe, and it lets it kind of fester. I guess that's probably a good way to describe the symbiote, because it is such a kind of a gross concept. It's an alien from outer space who comes here and starts... You get the idea. It's a gross thing. The symbiote's kind of gross. But it lets that breathe, and it lets the idea of the symbiote breathe. And that's something this game fails on in nearly every aspect. But outside of the stories, because I think everyone knows the flaws with this game's stories. I don't know, I keep saying stories. You need to lie down. They just did, okay. They just fell over. They got up, tried to fight back, and passed out. Is the gameplay. Now, the gameplay is a weird one, because I think it's... The best way I can put it is Spider-Man 2's gameplay is dumbed down. Spider-Man 1's gameplay feels robust. You know, there's a trade-off for all the gadgets you can use and powers you can use. Each suit has its own unique identity in that, you know, every suit has its own power. Every suit has its own feeling, almost, due to that. Like, the Iron Spider suit feels much different from the Advanced suit. The Fantastic Bagman, or whatever it's called, is, you know, feels different to the suit where he's just got his mask on and he dies in one hit, but he also takes everything out in one hit. It feels different. This game, everything feels the same. All the suits feel the same. This is a mod. I think it's probably worth saying that. All of this gameplay you're seeing here is modded. This is the photorealistic Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, and this swinging is modded. This is the Andrew Garfield swinging mod, which I think, by the way, is such a cool mod. Like, the expressive swinging, especially when you, like, just swinging around the city, it just looks so nice. Oh, we've got 4 skill points available. We'll not spend them now. We'll save up. But yeah, this gameplay, this game's combat especially, very dumbed down. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. It doesn't feel like you're ever trading anything. And I feel like that's something that other superhero games, a bit like, again, I don't like comparing these games because I think they're fundamentally different styles of game. But the Arkham games, I feel like they always mastered the trade-off aspect, in that in Arkham Asylum you can either throw an enemy and take 2 enemies out once you've hit that 5 combo or 8 combo, and you can throw an enemy and either use that to take 1 enemy out, you can throw it into a crowd and try and take multiple out, or you can trade it off and just do a guaranteed ground take or a guaranteed special combo takedown. But obviously then you lose that ability to take out multiple enemies, and obviously that expands into City and Night and Origins, where you know, the free flow gadgets become a thing, and you end up like you almost trade gadgets for normal strikes, right? You start embedding the gadgets in your combos and getting better at the game. And I think Arkham City onwards, the combat system Rocksteady kind of mastered there is perfect, in that it, you know, you can get through with button mashing, but you can also get through with a lot more fun with skill and with that constant give and take. The game gives you a combo meter, but then takes it away once you've used a gadget to stun enemies. So you stun the enemies, but you can't take them out as quick. Or you can take them out as quick, but then you're only taking like 1 or 2 out, and I just think it's so... No, we need to get that guy. It's so well done, and it's something that this game just doesn't get. Like, the gadgets, you can use all of your gadgets at once, and when you get into the end game, this save file I'm on now, by the way, this is my first playthrough of this game on PC. I played it 3 times on PlayStation when I had my PlayStation. This is the first playthrough I've done on PC, so I'm basically just kind of swinging around, having some fun, kind of muddling through the side missions and the missions as we go along. But, like, if I was in the end game, if I was in an end game file here, that fight there wouldn't have been hard. I'd have literally swung in, spammed all the gadgets, and there's a good chance that by spamming all the gadgets, the fight would have been over. And I feel like Spider-Man 1 handles its gadgets a lot better. It respects the player's ability to make choices a lot better than this game does, because I don't think this game does that. I think this game, say, in the grand scheme of a game's combat system, this game is very dumbed down. And I like it. Like, again, there is a lot of nuance in how I feel about this game. I like how this game feels. It's very snappy, it's very responsive, it's very Spider-Man. You know, there isn't a point in this game where you don't feel like Spider-Man. I know that's kind of an overused trope, like, this game really makes you feel like Spider-Man. But it's true, and that's the reason it feels so overused, is because you truly, probably more so than any other Spider-Man game, you get to feel like Spider-Man. Whether that's Miles Morales or Peter. Whichever one it is, you get that feeling... Look at that. 3 swing kicks in a row. You get that feeling of being Peter Parker. Or not so much Peter Parker, but that of being Spider-Man. And it's something that I really... It's something that I come back to this game for a lot, because this is my most played Spider-Man game. And I think a lot of people's is probably this, because of its swinging and the movement, which is, I think, the only true upgrade from the first game in this game is the movement. It's so crisp and fast, and there's a real skill floor and skill ceiling to it, in that when you get good at it, and when you know when to let go of a swing and activate a swing, and when you get to, know when to activate these certain things, it's unparalleled. It doesn't feel forced. It just is so natural. And whereas I think something like the Arkham series movement is good, and it's purposeful, and I think it's Arkham Knight did about all you could do with a Batman movement system, I think. Maybe unless you went into the Batman Beyond era where, you could have jet boots and, wings and stuff like that. Like, you could really have some fun with it. But whereas Arkham Knight, I feel like, perfected a Batman movement system with its, the Batmobile and the eject, and the fact you can kind of almost seamlessly combine Batman and the car together to make this unholy movement thing where you can, in the car, out the car, you can fire out the car, you can fire into the car, you can go out, you can go... It's so smooth. Spider-Man 2 did that. I don't feel like Insomniac will play with this system much more once we get Spider-Man 3. Because I think it's pretty established that we're getting a Spider-Man 3 at some point. And no game, I'm not going to go meet Harry at his new lab so I can walk around and play Lab Simulator for 40 minutes. There's obviously things this game could do better. I think one of them is an example here. Is that, right? Again, this is modded, so in the base game, he would have let go of the web there after the second swing, or after the first swing. But with this mod, it does that. And so I think, genuinely, I respect the work Insomniac did on this game a lot, and I feel like they were definitely under pressure from Sony. Hence why this game feels like it has a lot of shortcomings. But it's also just a good game. It's not perfect. It's not even... I'd argue it's not even a great game. It's a good... It's just a good-ass Spider-Man game. It's not Spider-Man PS4. It's not Web of Shadows, which, again, I haven't played, so I'm not gonna use that as an example too often. It's not Miles Morales. But it's a good Spider-Man game. You feel like Spider-Man. The game's very good at making you feel cool, which I always think is important in a superhero game. What was that? He just moonwalked. He just moonwalked forwards, which I guess is just normal walking. So it does feel like... Again, we all know this game had a lot of potential that I don't want to say wasted, because I don't think that's the right word, because I don't think Insomniac were entirely to blame for it. But equally, I think... even just playing this game with mods for the movement and the combat makes it feel not complete, because I still think the story, wrapping up the whole Venom arc in one game, is something that we as Spider-Man fans, because I am a Spider-Man fan. Like, again, if you come from the main channel, you will know me as a Batman fan, and I am. Batman is and always will be my number one guy, right? Through thick and thin, through bad and good, Batman's my guy, but Spider-Man's a close second. And so, as a Spider-Man fan, I want to see good Spider-Man games. And I feel like, this is a good Spider-Man game. It's not great, it's not perfect, but it's good. The final thing I wanted to touch on, because I'm on a bit of a time limit here, so the final thing I wanted to touch on is the boss fights. Because the boss fights in this game, I made a video originally on this game on the main channel about 2 years ago now, which I think I mentioned at the start of the video. I really like the boss fights for this game. I know that's probably like a controversial opinion. It almost feels like you can't say anything good about this game without being told you're like objectively wrong, which I just, again, it comes back to the whole people lacking nuance thing, because people generally do lack nuance, especially in this space that we occupy on the internet, which is like, you know, superhero media. People are very black and white, and I don't like that. I don't like the whole black and white. This thing does one thing bad, so it does all things bad. That's not. It's a very childish way of thinking. But the boss fights in this game, I generally like. The lizard boss fight is, for me, so good. Like, I know some people don't like it, but goddamn, that lizard boss fight is so peak. Chasing Lizard through the city, like, is just something I will never forget playing for the first time. It was so good. The Spider-Man boss fight where you're fighting Peter Parker as Miles is one of the most emotional boss fights in a superhero game. It's so good. The music, like Yuri Lowenthal's voice acting as like an angry, almost bitter Spider-Man in that scene, which I guess goes back to the Venom conversation and the symbiote conversation, which is another video for another day. It's so good. Like, when he's like, people think I'm the problem, like I'm the solution, and all that stuff. It's so good. That boss fight for me will always stick in my head as one of those holy shit moments in gaming, where I was like, wow, this game knows when it wants to turn it on, and when it knows it can turn it on and be what it was always meant to be. It delivers on every front, and I think that's something. I think it's a damn shame we'll never get to see what this game was truly meant to be. But, you know, it is what it is. We can't change that. This game, for me, is very fun. It's a game I always come back to. It's a game which, for better or for worse, I really like. And, in short, they even are my current thoughts on Marvel's Spider-Man 2. I'll link that original video I did back in the back end of 2024 down below, so you can kind of see how my thoughts have changed, because I was very, very positive about the game back then, whereas now I'm not as positive. You know, I'm not as high on the game as I was then. I do like it. I'm never gonna change the fact that I do really enjoy this game for what it is, but I do recognise its flaws and its lack of polish, I think would be the word. It has definitely a lot of things that could have been better, should have been better, but unfortunately, due to the nature of how time works, will never be better. So, thank you all for watching. Leave a like if you liked. Subscribe. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers over here on the second channel. Or for some people, you know, this might be the main channel, and the main channel might be the second channel, depending on where you came first. So, again, thank you all for watching. Leave a like. Tell me what you think about this game. Keep it respectful, of course, you know. Don't attack the point. Don't attack the point. Don't attack the person. Attack the point. Yeah, thank you all for watching. It means the world. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.